Borodar, welcome to Expansive. I am Yar TTomlliw, and if Streets of Rage got into a car with Double Dragon and Hotline Miami and they all took a road trip to Russia then documented their experiences in a video game, let's just say you'll have a very good idea about what you're about to see. Built with Unity, Mother Russia Bleeds is a blood-curdling beat-em-up that is sick, savage and fun in equal measure, with something of a story, but layered with shock factor to really draw you into the experience. Each of the 4 characters has different abilities, strength, speed, agility, and variants on familiar moves, and players need to fight through 8 stages against wave after wave of enemies using guns, wine bottles, steel pipes, and any other thing they come across on the floor. The game is set in the 1980s alternate universe of Russia, and the aim is to figure out the source of some horrific hallucinations triggered by the side effects of a new drug tailored by the Russian mafia known as Necro. As one of the fighters, you have to figure out why you were chosen for this project by breaking out of prison, but also embracing this newfangled addiction by filling syringes of Necro, drawing it from twitching enemy bodies that you lay out in combat. This serves as health as well as a power up which can trigger a berserk mode, and when this is activated the player's speed increases as well as their strength and resolve. This can also be used to revive buddies in co-op, and you can play locally with up to 3 friends. There's also online co-op and a survival and boss rush modes, the aim being to get the highest score possible in each wave in order to claim the bragging rights. You can even play with bots at the same time, though there is some questionable AI as either they can attack the enemies too much not leaving much for you to do, or they do absolutely nothing at all pushing against the roving screen. Developed by Le Cartel Studio and published by Devolver Digital, this game is an extremely violent, chilling personification of an alternate reality, and it's clear that it's one for action enthusiasts. It's an old school beat 'em up only with a gratuity that wasn't prevalent there in the first place, and it really sticks close to what made these games fun to begin with. Likewise, it has a lot of the same routine and monotony that even a slight story can't distract from. And as I say, the gameplay is fairly basic. Punch, kick, grab, jump, and you can also use the dodge button at the same time to do things like floor slides or grab enemies in the air. And the game does reward some creativity if you use the weapons to effect as well, but generally you'll have mastered most if not all of the controls within the first few levels. However, some enemies will require different strategies than others. For instance, if you're fighting a boss that's got a flak jacket or a dog that's quite low off the ground. The plot does try to take itself a bit too seriously at times as well, seemingly forgetting that this is an alternate universe, and it ends up being a bit humorless and dull as a result. You also find it sometimes difficult to align up your character with the enemy when you're trying to fight, which can actually work against you as they can still hit you but you can't touch them, and this happens again and again and does present a bit of tedium. And more worryingly still perhaps, you find yourself getting quite desensitized to the violence. I mean, there are dead bodies everywhere, you've got skulls being caved in, there's see-through bullet holes through the chest, and it does stop shocking you all the while you're trying to figure out these creative ways to lash out at your opponent. And once the violence does stop shocking you, the game proves to be fairly shallow and there's not much else it can do to sway you. It also lacks some of the sophisticated charm that made games like Golden Axe so fun and replayable, and sometimes the elements of mystery and suspense really outweighs the need to build a game with a half-hearted plot. Additions to the background really do paint a gritty dystopia though, and it does draw you into the world than any of the genre's forebears. And the boss battles do actually present a refreshing change of pace from the mindless button spamming you've been doing for the last 10 minutes. And also the message the game tries to convey about drug addiction is kind of important, and the effects it can have on the body are fascinating and occasionally insightful. As a game, however, Mother Russia Bleeds hits and misses and does come away feeling distinctly average rather than evolutionary as a result. It is a great homage to the past and it's entertaining with a group of buddies, but it's not for those with a weak stomach, and despite some combat tweaks and some entertaining boss battles, ultimately exposes itself for its limitations as you mindlessly wander the streets, caving someone's skull in or smashing up their car. Also be prepared for a brutal difficulty spike towards the end of the game. But overall, it's worth a look. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time.